When a school bus driver who is in his 30s, a grown man, or 40s, threatens to stop the bus and take your child, who is 14 in the ninth grade, out into a field and beat him like a man, then you should sue that school. You should bring charges against that school bus driver and have him fired and sue him. And also my child has Tourettes, and that school bus driver threatened to do that to my child when my boy was 14 in the ninth grade. Now, the school bus driver who did that, he was eventually fired. But it took a letter, a handwritten note from my son who was on the bus, who is my third oldest son in middle school. He took a pen, a pencil, and paper, and he wrote down the whole thing that that the school bus driver and my son said to each other. And yes, my son's mouthy. He's 14, and all kids are mouthy. You just have to make sure that they have to report it to the parents and make sure that the parents can do something about that mouthiness. And but you don't beat down a 14-year-old like he is a grown man. You just don't do that. So when my third oldest boy wrote a note telling everything that was said, and gave it to the school bus superintendent, that eventually that school bus driver was fired. But that still caused more problems and backlash for my oldest son, who was in the ninth grade. And eventually it got to where it was so bad that he just really, and through the years, it was so bad between him and the school bus driver and the school bus driver's friends, kids, and kids that he would just let pick on my son, and my son has Tourette's too. Like me, it got so bad to where my son just dropped out of high school. He just gave up. And so I feel like I should have done something a long time ago. And it's just too late. And it would have probably been better for me, as I see my other kids being picked on. I think it would have been better that I would have just gone ahead and charged that man for threatening to beat down my 14-year-old and sue the school. That's the way I feel. Because there's other instance too, where a few years back, there were kids on the bus that were picking on my son, and the same bus driver never would do anything to the kids that was picking on my son. No matter when my son said something back, then my son would be in trouble. But if they said something, they wouldn't get in trouble. And I mean, that he just allowed a one-sided situation to grow into where my son was catching, he was catching HELL on, all every time he rode the bus, and he didn't want to ride the bus. And now I know why. And one student said, "Hey, I know where he," after they got this one female student jumped up and said, "I know where he lives. We can go get him." Like they were going to come to my place and get my son and drag him out and beat him. So this whole thing is evolved from this one school that we attend, that my kids go to. But what I should have done is I should have went ahead and took him, charged him, and charged that school bus driver, and sued the school, because that's just not right. And I feel bad for it. I feel bad that I didn't do that. And as I get older, and I think about things, and I think about things I should have done, and things I didn't do, and where I went wrong as a parent and stuff. And it's just a lot of things just eat up at me. And my son has Tourette's like I do, and I'm gonna have more things that I'm gonna share and out of my life and over the last 50 years. And I'd like for y'all to click like and subscribe to my channel, and you guys will hear more about the things that people with Tourette's put up with, things I have put up with, good and bad. So click like and subscribe, and I'll see you the next time. Thanks.